Hi, everyone. So I want to take the next couple minutes to explain the prisoner case study project because it is one of the central learning activities for this course. It's really easy for us to discuss policies in the abstract because it's kind of like, well, it helps some people, it doesn't help others, oh well. But it's a lot harder and it's a lot more meaningful when you actually start digging into how those policies affect specific people and really give them those names and those lives. And so to that end, in this course, at the beginning of the semester, you're going to select a fictional offender to follow throughout the term. Now, every offender has a unique story and brings their own unique combinations of strengths, risks, needs, and challenges. Now, the purpose of this assignment is not for you to become an expert on one specific type of prisoner group. Instead, the offender will serve as a vehicle for helping us better understand the correctional system itself. I intentionally designed each profile to represent meaningful correctional challenges. So every offender has factors that will increase their risk, factors that will support their success, and circumstances that make their correctional journey unique. By the end of the semester, I think you'll find that each profile provides really valuable opportunities for both analysis and for discussion. So when you're working through your case study, I want you to approach your offender through multiple perspectives. So as you go through the course, I want you to think about what the correctional experience looks like through the eyes of your offender. So what are their fears? What are their challenges? What frustrations or barriers might they face? And how are correctional policies affecting their daily lives and future opportunities? At the same time, I want you to think about the perspective of others involved in the correctional system. So with your prisoner, what concerns would a correctional officer have working with this particular prisoner? How might victims or family members of the offender feel about various policies? How might employers, both past and future employers, and just overall community members view both this offender and the risks that they face to the community? Now, these perspectives will not always align, and that's the point. That's where the most important correctional debates will emerge, when the offender, the victims, the community, the correctional staff all have different needs, and that's where correctional policy has to decide whose needs do we prioritize and in what way and what risk or what negative effect are we willing to occur to happen to these various groups. Now, I also want you to think critically about responsibility. So some of the challenges that your offender faces may be the result of poor policy decisions. Some of them may be barriers that were created by the correctional system or by other systems, or simply circumstances that are beyond their control. Other challenges might be the result of choices that your offender is actively making. And in most cases, the answer is going to be some combination of both. So you have to keep that in mind. There's an offender responsibility, there's a system responsibility, and you have to balance those two things. Part of being an effective correctional professional is learning to recognize complexity. It means being able to acknowledge when systems fail people while also recognizing that there is individual accountability. It means being able to identify barriers to success without excusing harmful behavior. And it means being willing to evaluate policies, institutions, and offenders honestly, even if the answers aren't ideal or if they're not comfortable. Your goal is never to defend your offender or condemn their actions. Your goal is to understand them well enough to evaluate the correctional system critically and to identify opportunities for improvement. Now, one of the most valuable parts of this assignment is that outside of your own offender, you're going to also learn from the experiences of the other prisoners through this study. Throughout the semester, you'll hear presentations and discussions that involve offender profiles that are different than your own. Pay attention to these conversations. Even though your team is only responsible for one offender, the broader goal is to understand the diverse challenges that are faced by individuals throughout the system. And this is particularly important because your final exam is not going to use your assigned offender. For that one, you're going to be given a new offender profile that will combine issues and themes from multiple offender cases. The purpose of the case study project is to practice applying correctional concepts to complex human situations. By the end of the semester, you should be able to analyze any offender profile using the knowledge and skills that you've developed throughout the course. So, I look forward to seeing how your analysis develops throughout the semester, and I hope that this project really helps you see corrections not only as a system of policies and institutions, but also as a system that affects real people in meaningful ways. I hope you enjoy the assignment, and I look forward to hearing your presentations. Thanks, everyone.